most people focus way too much on what they can do or what we're able to do. And I think the far more important question is like, what are you willing to do? Like, so often I hear from everybody, when we're talking to people, like, yeah, if you were just saying that on the topic of like buying your first investment property as a first time home buyer, it's like, okay, if you can get up to, whatever the cap, $880,000 loan for up to a fourplex for 3.5% down, and then you rent out three of them. And then in, you know, 2 years, you end up renting the fourth one out, and that's your first investment property. And you probably got it for free. Um, everybody, oh, if it was that easy, why doesn't everybody do it? Because the fact is 90% of people don't do it because they just don't want to do it.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today, I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Trenton Cook, who is a real estate agent and investor in the Montana area. So excited to have you here today, Trent.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited as well.
Awesome. So let's dive in. First off, for those not yet familiar with you and your work, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah. So like you said, my main focus really is as a real estate salesperson, real estate agent. It's what I spend most of my time doing. And got a background in just doing real estate investments personally, and that just sort of built and kind of over time transferred into being a real estate agent and getting to help other people make those same kind of investments. Helping other people find wealth through real estate. And at the same time, it just provides even better opportunity for me to kind of keep an eye open for my own investment opportunities.
Yeah. And is this only in Montana?
It is. Yeah. For now, my license is Montana wide. Montana is a pretty vast place, right? So there's like 4 states composed into one in Montana. And so we can't cover all of it personally, but so normally we would refer out to, Bozeman, Billings, places like that are a little further from us. We're up in the northwest corner. But yeah, and as far as working as a real estate agent, it's just Montana. But on the investment side of things, no, U.S., nationwide is kind of where we look. So.
Awesome. And so what got you into real estate?
Well, what got me into real estate, well, to be honest with you, I worked for 16 years in emergency medicine. I did 12 of those with the city municipal fire department here, working full time as a firefighter. And, we operated an ambulance and all that as well. And it's hard on a person, all the things that you have to endure over time. It was fine. Like I never had any problem 10, 12 years in. So when I got to 13, 14 years, it started to actually take a toll on me, which I never thought it would. Just late nights, every time there's work, it's always a negative thing. Right. And so, I just started to think, man, there's just probably more to life with it. And so,
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I mean, it was long before I got to that point that we started dipping into real estate, but I knew that that was going to come some point. And so I was trying to reach out and find other ways that we could start to make wise moves, my wife and I. And so that at some point in time, I could step back out of that and then just be able to have some sort of plan for the future. A friend of mine, actually, a good friend, he ended up doing some creative financing on a big chunk of land out here. And I was asking him about it, and he says, "Oh, you know, you got to read Rich Dad Poor Dad." And so I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know probably everybody's read the same book, and but it really just changed all the way that my brain was wired. And ever since that point, it's been a total switch has gone off, and I've never ever been the same person. And it's kind of been all, you know, all efforts forward since then.
Awesome. And what do you feel are the main keys that have allowed your business to be successful?
Main keys that have been success that I've found success with so far. Two main things I think is one. Well, we'll call it three, right? Like three of it, you know, one of them being obviously just applying what you learn. There's so many people who found so much information, like all day long. All of us are on our phones. We're constantly getting overwhelmed with information, and like almost none of it sticks, right? Very few people actually apply what they learn. And so I just started trying to be more intentional about applying what I learned, like reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was like, okay, that's fine. That's one thing to read it, but then to actually see if there's places, even on the small scale, that I can start to apply those things. That stuff compounds. And as you get used to handling the small things, I'm a big believer in like, you know, tending the small things well allows for growth in those areas. So just trying to be more intentional about applying what I've learned is a big one. Secondly, mindset is everything. Like we already kind of talked before, just being able to, I think, keep focus where the return is a huge thing, right? It's nobody, I've yet to find anybody that does well and thrives in business if all they focus on is the stresses of it and have this doom and gloom outlook. And I think that that's far too easy to get sucked into that. And it takes far more effort and training and habit building to be able to keep your mindset in gratitude and your mindset on abundance. And once that sort of thing happens, you just end up finding so much more opportunity. And then the things that you are, you know, taking steps towards achieving, they actually come to fruition instead of just spinning your wheels because all you're noticing is the negatives in life, you know? Um, and thirdly, and I think this, nothing else really matters if you don't get this part, is that like most people focus way too much on what they can do or what we're able to do. And I think the far more important question is like, what are you willing to do? Like, so often I hear from everybody, you know, when we're talking to people like, yeah, if you were just saying that on the topic of like buying your first investment property as a first time home buyer, it's like, okay, if you can get up to, you know, whatever the cap, $880,000 loan for up to a fourplex for 3.5% down, and then you rent out three of them, and then in, you know, 2 years you end up renting the fourth one out, and that's your first investment property, and you probably got it for free. Um, everybody, oh, if it was that easy, why doesn't everybody do it? Because the fact is 90% of people don't do it because they just don't want to do it. So it's not anything to do with what a person is able to do, but everything to do with what are they willing to do. I think that success purely comes from what extents are you willing to go to? If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And can you share a little bit about like the types of investments and Yeah, like what's your investing business look like?
Yeah. So,
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
um, when my wife and I, we first bought our house, we wanted to be able to make our dollars go a little further, and we had very little to do anything with. So we did not go the route that I just mentioned with like buying a fourplex. Looking back, I wish I would have, but I didn't know then. What I did know was that like I was willing to do work that other people didn't want to do. So we found a house that was in terrible shape, needed completely gutted and remodeled, but we got it for like $100,000. And so we did have some money saved up, and like 8,000 bucks, I think was all we had. So we were able to get into the house, and we were able to remodel that house. Luckily, that happened at a pretty good time in the market as well, where our market appears a little bit protected. So everything happens here a little bit later than everywhere else, right? It's a little bit slower to tank. It's a little bit slower to grow. But, and so we kind of thought we missed the boat on it really, because everywhere else was starting to gain back the equities after the crash in '08. And so we ended up buying this place, but we thought we're just going to put enough work into it that we're going to get some money back that way, and it'll be a good stepping stone. And so that's exactly what we did. I would go work 24-hour shifts. I would come home and, lay new subfloors in, and, tear off the siding. And so we just basically learned to do all these different things because we didn't have the money to put into like hiring and it out. Right. And obviously, like when you get into, all those books, Rich Dad Poor Dad and all that kind of stuff, like hiring out is a much, better return on your money. If you've got some expertise you can go focus on instead of doing the job yourself. But at the time, there wasn't an option. So we just did the grind, and we spent a year and a half or so, almost 2 years, just redoing everything on that house. And then we ended up, paying, cash as we could, and we doubled our money in that one. And so we did it again, and we found another place that we thought would be, a better fit for the time being, but also had the potential to grow. And we did it again. Um, and, uh, and so that kind of got the ball rolling, started with that. We decided after that we would jump into, something with a little bit greater return potential. For us out here in Montana, it's like big sky country, right? Even though we're in the mountains a little bit, we've still got these valley bottoms, and there's a bunch of acreage, right? A lot of farm fields that get sold up, which is kind of sucks to see farm fields get taken up with houses, but at the same time, it's my livelihood too, to have houses and real estate developed. So we decided to jump into that and started doing some subdivision with it. So we bought 30 acres in Whitefish with the proceeds from the previous investments of turning those houses. And we did that, and we did a split, and we split the land up, and then we, took one of the pieces, and we decided to go a little further into a different variation of real estate investing, and we built some vacation rentals. And so we did those very specifically. We didn't build a normal house that, we were just going to live in and then we'll rent it in the summer. And that's a good option for some people if they're already in that position. But we built dedicated vacation rentals for that purpose, and we finished them off the way that we want them to be, what would look good in an Instagram post. So we had like this big red barn, that was very Montana and touristy, right? And we spent some years, running multiple vacation rentals and seeing the return on those. And again, the thing that took the most of our own personal energy and investment, time and energy investment, had a far greater return than if we were to just run it passively, like a long-term rental and hold, right? Um, and so it was worth it at the time, for sure. So we did that. That was been the bread and butter of how the kind of the basis and the foundation of everything we've done. From there, we I've been able to go a little further, more so in education than in reality. Um,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
but going further into I did a mentorship with a investor out of North Carolina, and he specializes in private acquisitions. He did business acquisitions and real estate investment property acquisitions through creative financings, particularly owner financing or subject to. And so I did that for a while. I did that for like probably 8 or 9 months. I just kind of mentored into this guy and participated with him in a lot of the acquisitions. And, I never actually was able to, not able to, but I never, I never took that further um, into building a portfolio of my own. But the amount of knowledge base that I gained through that, I'm actually starting to see pay off more than I ever thought now being in my career that I'm in. Right. Um, so that's a really cool thing to get into also. And I know that's a whole nother side road of things. And there's people that are far more advanced and experienced in that, like Pace Morby and those guys getting into the creative financing thing. But that was a great little mentorship just to look at all the different creative ways of doing things. And I think it really opened up another area of my mind about how to go about opportunities. Is just being creative. Like there's an endless supply of creativity, and you just never know what you don't know. So, um, there's always a way, it seems like.
Yeah, that's awesome that you were able to just go for it and progress in that way. I think those kind of stories are super relatable.
Yeah. 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 And then now, I mean, where we're at now with it, I guess, is just we did liquidate the vacation rentals. We sold those. And what we're after now, we did start a 24-hour fitness center here. We started that for now. And I think the main thing that we've got our eyes on is just going further and more into um just growing that business, but trying to capitalize on the opportunity for owning the commercial real estate that these different gym locations can build. So again, just being intentional, right? Basically, I'm open to anything that the numbers jive on. Long-term holding real rental properties here in this area of the country it's just not very feasible. The prices are so high that you just can't make a profit off of holding rental properties. So it's either got to be like multiple units to one property, um, and vacation rental use, if you're going to go residential. Otherwise you have to do, multifamily properties and stuff like that. So again, we're open to all of it. I'm good with looking at everything. It just depends on what the numbers look like on it. Big one is like RV parks are a big one up here where they generate so much more return for so much less overhead to operate and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, is your main focus now to kind of like scale that commercial aspect?
Yeah. I mean, my main focus has got to be, it's still got to be my job as an agent.
Right.
That's got to take primary focus for sure. But I know obviously this is more about investing. But yeah, while I'm off doing that, I think the primary things that I'm keyed into looking for right now is either more business opportunity, right? I can't remember who said it. Somebody, maybe it was Grant Cardone was saying what, like, 90% of millionaires come from real estate and 100% of billionaires come from private equity. Um, so I'm always just like, okay, what business opportunities exist for sure. But as far as real estate properties go, the main thing I'm looking for is just, yeah, opportunities for commercial real estate, specifically like shop space is big in the states that I'm looking mostly here. Utah, Arizona are big for like multiple unit shop space. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any like advice that you would share for someone that's looking to get started in investing?
Yeah, I would say now keep in mind, I'm probably like 3 steps back in caliber from most of the people you have on this podcast. Like, I'll completely concede that. Like, I'm still just trying to get the ball rolling with a lot of these things. And like I said, most of my experience has been educational so far. I'm, learning to apply. It seems to be going fairly slow. But, yeah, I would say I would say the numbers don't lie, right? So, um it's like that average net worth for somebody who rents a place is like $10,000 or something along those lines. Like, um, and what 90% of statistics are made up on the spot too, something like that. So we're just throwing out numbers, but I think it's something like that. I think it's not far off from like $10,000 average net worth, whereas I think the average net worth of someone who owns their home is closer to 100. And so just by taking one step difference, you're not even changing your lifestyle. You're not out more, out of your pocket. Just taking the steps to follow down the path that's already been paved is a sure thing. Brian Tracy said it's not a get rich quick, it's a get rich for sure, right? And I think he was quoting somebody else on that. I don't know the original quote, speaker of that, but like it's a for sure thing, and it may not be a get rich quick, but just taking the steps that are proven to take, just being willing to do those things that you already know to do. We don't have any excuses for not knowing. We're at the age of information where everybody has every bit of information that's ever been documented in our pockets at all times, right? And so it's just about applying that. And so I would say for somebody who's just getting started, just find a place where the numbers work, find a situation where the numbers work, and then just go do it. Just like you have to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Action is super important.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we begin to wrap up here, if someone wants to reach out, connect, and learn more about what you're up to, where can
Mhm.
people find you and reach you?
Yeah. So well, I guess I don't know what the way you guys normally like doing this, but I work with Beckman's Real Estate up here in Kalispell, and you can find all my information on there. Um, it's trent.beckmansrealestatemt.com is my personal website here, and my contact info is on there. And yeah, I know we operate as a real estate agent, real estate brokerage, but I love talking about and helping people get sorted out on investments and building wealth of all kinds. Um, and so we've been able to apply what we've learned to our own lives, and we're seeing that come through in huge ways. And whether somebody's actually looking for something to buy or sell, or they just like to plan out ideas and get creative and dream. I'm all about it. It's all got to start. It's all got to start as a dream. Everything in the physical, I truly believe, starts off in our spiritual realms, right? So like, it's got to be conceived and dreamed about before it can ever come to reality. So I'm all about it. So yeah, hit me up with if I can help with any of that stuff for sure.
Perfect. Well, appreciate your time and your story. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Of course. For those tuning into the show, if you got value, make sure you've subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Trent who are building real businesses, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.